Welcome back to the UKLC. I'm here as the #1 leaker of strats, according to Dan on Twitter, who just tweeted me saying, thanks for leaking our stratcaster. Dan, that's rude.
What's the strat?
The Sejuani Leona priority,
yeah.
but you know,
it's broken.
It's broken.
Yeah.
There you go. Anyway. Fnatic obviously got that win versus Feline. We expected nothing less. We are about to jump into our final game of the day, which is XL versus Demise. Looks like everybody is ready to go, so we should be getting into that fairly shortly. Talk to me a little bit about the two teams. Let's sort of start with Demise, because I think obviously XL kind of speaks for itself.
So Demise, they have now got Dragdor back on the roster. So Dragdor had some stuff that kept them away from the previous week's games, and they ran Rabstar instead, who did his best, but ultimately they weren't able to find a win. Dragnor's returned. He had pretty good performances on Diabolus, especially in the early part of last split, where he was a reliable carry in the later stage of the game. So it'll be interesting to see Demise on full power. Now, it feels like they've sort of struggled to execute in their last two games. The first game, they played a scaling composition up against M&M, and they kind of just sat back and did nothing. And then the game, which was up against Fnatic, I think it was just not allowing Kirb to split push really and set up for that, and trying to contest too much in the 4-man when you had a stronger split pusher. But again, that was against Fnatic. That's a hard matchup. So is this against XL. I think if they are going to win, they have quite a few avenues by which they can. Kerberos can be a split push monster up against Sendo, who, although is obviously a long stay on XL, has shown occasionally weaknesses when playing the 1v1 matchup where he's over-aggressive. If he does get punished, it could set Kerberos up. Monkeys against Taxa, there was a time where Monkeys was outright the better jungler. His form has not been so good recently, but back in the split when he was on Diabolus, they beat out BTXL to get to that second spot at EU Masters, as did Kerberos. I think Zorin, a little bit of a tough matchup in the special. He's one of the premier mids in the league, and
he's
just holding up against
second fiddle to Magi Felix, but that's not.
My opinion, I think he's above Magi Felix.
Interesting. I think because I haven't seen much of special recently, maybe that's shifted, but. I think they're probably very even.
They're very
level.
close. I think that's the thing, is the fact that you can have different opinions.
Yeah.
They are close.
They are very close. And I only say second fiddle because of Magi Felix's weight of name, right? I guess that he kind of brings that. But I think they're both incredibly good mid-laners.
You can make an argument for it. But the way is, they're very close to each other up here. Everyone else is quite a bit lower, right? That's just how it is at the moment.
And I think actually, if you talk about Deadly and Kasing, I actually think that's the best bot lane in the league.
I think you can make that statement. You can definitely argue that. I think it's close, because I think Envision and Fnatic definitely have formidable bot lanes. Deadly and Kasing are very good.
I think actually it's another one of those scenarios where even with Envision, throwing into the mix as well, you could have statements and arguments for all of them. But I think just Deadly and Kasing, Deadly is an incredible AD carry, and Kasing has got that wealth of experience.
I mean, Deadly got to finals off EU Masters with Giants.
Vodafone.
In a roster where he was very much their late game insurance, and he has sort of still been that for BTXL to an extent, giving a lot of farm to scale up, but he's now being given the Aphelios, which is a monster in the late stages of the game. And Kasing as well, he's been a big part of being the vocal majority of XL and providing that shot call, as well as obviously the individual plays we expect from him from his premier time in the European top level.
Yeah.
Was it ULCS then?
I think he did have some time in the LEC. He had some time in the LEC.
Monk is going to go for the Elise. So a lot of early aggression around that mid-jungle matchup. Could still be flexed on the Syndra, but that is a very much, we want to dominate this mid lane matchup. So I'm respecting the confidence on the side of BTXL. Gragas is a standard for Taxo. We've seen him pick it up last week. And then Aphelios for Deadly, sort of champion. I very much see him enjoying being able to just express a lot of skill and take over games. I
wonder if they're going to have to pick up something like Senna here. They're going to take the Leona, so I'm expecting Senna to get banned on next rotation, maybe take out some of the AD carries.
I don't think you ban Senna in this situation. I don't think you play Senna with that composition.
Do you not think so? No, maybe not.
Not with Leona.
Not hasn't got enough agency, I suppose.
And not against the Gragas.
Yeah, okay, sure.
You're not going to have fun in that situation.
I love that special hovers Zed just to be like, yeah, I could play Zed.
Lucian, I think, could be a decent ban. Lucian Leona's a strong lane. I can really bully out the Aphelios, but I like the Yasuo coming out from special. It is something that he likes to lean on a lot. It's good into the Syndra because obviously it's a skill matchup by all means. Syndra has advantages in being able to shove the lane, but you can use the wind wall very effectively. You're not limited by mana. And Yasuo Gragas is the sort of duo that can hold up to Syndra at least. I will say though, you need to wait for level 6 before you really hit your big power spikes.
Sure.
Now going to the bans, Misfortune banned away. That's another big one. I think Misfortune Lucian would really cut down the picks for Dragdar. I don't think Senna necessarily the one for this situation. On the other side, you can ban away support for Aphelios. Braum is an option. Thresh, potentially.
Thresh is something that you ban against Kasing a lot of the time, just because it's Kasing.
And it's offering the safety to Deadly. And I think that's a big thing with Aphelios. If you give him space, he will take over. If you just jump on him, as we saw with Jack Spectre in the last game, struggles to play. They are actually going to ban away the Senna.
So Lucian seems like the obvious choice for Dragda.
Yeah, potentially. I think it gives you the ability to deal with the tools that BTXL have, and it allows you to be aggressive in the lane. I expect Demise. I would ban Braum here if I was them, just to deny another way. But they may focus another area, potentially a strong solo laner for Sendo.
Could ban Nautilus, I suppose.
I feel like you could, but I feel like Nautilus doesn't really stop them doing what they're doing. So they're going to ban away a solo laner. Potentially worried about the counter pick coming up from Sendo, and
maybe yeah. I mean, Ornn's gone, right? So it's going to be the Braum
no
they picked up.
That is zero surprise me, especially with the composition BTXL have. I mean, you have two extremely good concussive blow stackers in the Yasuo and the Aphelios, and this just makes their skirmishing so good. Now, Demise, they have to make the choice of their AD carry. Lucian, in terms of laning and survivability, would make sense. We could potentially even see an Ezreal that has been returning with the lethal tempo as a rune or potentially Conqueror. Really comes down to what Dragdar feels confident on. But first up, they're going to take Safe Blind for Kerberos in the Gangplank, which is that's actually a really interesting one, because you say Safe Blind and Kerberos, those things,
two words don't really go together very often.
Gangplank's a super meta pick who's just been around for quite a while, or something you can pick in a lot of situations.
But he plays Triforce, so therefore immediately has...
It's a Triforce champion.
It has a Kerberos in it.
Yeah. I mean, maybe you could have seen the Cho'Gath with Triforce is the Kerberos special. But we are not going to get...
We're going to get Syndra bot lane. It's going to be Qiyana mid lane.
Yeah, so that makes a lot of sense to me. I think there's not really a ton you can pick in the bot lane that's going to shake things up. Qiyana into the Yasuo. The wind wall can still be utilized pretty effectively, but you can bully him so hard. And I mean, we talked about Giants, Deadly's old team. This is a mid-jungle they played all the time, at least Qiyana. These champions at level 3, they have so much burst, so much execution, and so much power. At that point, this is probably one of the strongest mid-jungle combos in the game. Level 6 is where Gragas Yasuo get a bit more power in their side, but it's still going to be rough. Now, we see the Vladimir actually come out for Sendo, which is good matchup into the Gangplank. Normally, melee matchups struggle because you can just parlay you, but the Vladimir can obviously sustain, and then it scales up to be an absolute monster, and spikes at similar sort of times. So Gangplank benefits heavily when he gets points into his barrels. Actually, it's not even points in the barrels. It's when he levels up, there's a shorter tick timing, and that happens a little bit later than Vladimir maxing his Q, but both of them looking to scale up and be monsters. This mid-jungle is going to be pretty hectic. I think bot lane, there are more tools available to Demise, but if they botch any sort of engage, very easy for Deadly and Kasing to turn around. But I think that shows in the summoner spells that they are playing defensive. They have the cleanse, they have the exhaust. It's very much Syndra and Leona who are the onus is on them to play aggressive.
So, let's think about this now in terms of let's actually put the names back into it, and you have this composition for XL which looks quite scaling realistically. There's got a lot of scaling, and I think realistically you're looking at something that's not going to come online very early, but actually then you go over to the side of Demise. They have the early game agency to make plays happen, right? They're the team that could potentially upset XL if they get rolling.
Yeah, Demise, it's textbook. You mid-jungle, super high priority level 3, you focus heavily on that, and you can try and pressure the Yasuo. Once you gain control of mid, you can start to exert that pressure down to the bot side. Get control of the river, and then when Gangplank hits level 6, you have an ult to throw down, you should win skirmishes in the bot lane. That is the ideal scenario for Demise. Obviously, it doesn't always go that way. Now, over to the side of BTXL, they have a great defensive bot lane to potentially withstand pressure early. Yasuo can have difficulty, but it's going to come down to how well special plays, and Vladimir is up in the top lane scaling. Once Yasuo and Gragas hit level 6, especially in tandem, if they pair up with the Braum, their skirmish and power becomes extremely good. They can find great picks, and if a fight breaks out after it, they have potential to turn that in their favor. So I think with BTXL, it's sort of weathering the storm a little bit in the early game of Demise putting down this pressure on the Qiyana and the Elise. Whereas with Demise, it's go from minute 1. Well, not quite minute 1, more about minute 3. But go from there and just try and get control of the game.
Just going to let you know, skins-wise, Fnatic XL have got they've got the synergies.
Oh, do they?
3 Nightbringer skins.
Ooh.
So just in terms of skin synergy, it's already looking good for XL.
Yeah, that's I think we can just call it. The game's actually been paused. I believe Demise have just said...
No, it's Kasing's mic. Oh, sorry. You're trying to troll?
Demise have just said, look, they've got this Skinergy.
We might as well have this. We might as well have this right now.
Yeah, some mic issues coming in from Kasing, so we're just going to get that sorted out. Not much too more to say about Demise's composition. I think it has very clear win conditions, and that's what I like about it, because I feel like Demise have struggled a little bit playing to theirs. This one is super clear, and I want to see them trying to enact it. On the side of BTXL, again, weathering the storm a little, but Special's a big part of it. If he collapses in the mid lane, which I do not expect by any means, but if he does, that could be their downfall. So how he holds up in this matchup and the pressure from Monkeys is a big thing.
I think the thing that I'm looking at when I'm looking at this, the way you describe it anyway, is that XL don't have much... unless there is some big mistakes coming up from Demise, they don't have much proactivity for themselves in the early game. So they are basically looking to read Demise as much as possible to put themselves in the safest spot possible until they get to a point in the game where they feel comfortable skirmishing and team fighting.
Well, that's the thing. If you can create vision control and just delay these plays, slow them down, I think early vision on the Elise is important. And something that XL and Braum are very famous for is the level 1 invades. We see Kasing consistently go for these. He played a lot of Pantheon last split, where he'd look for the level 1 invades on the back of the shield vault. Here he has the Braum. We've talked about this a lot. Great level 1 champion. So I expect to see them invade, get vision, and get control of, just some warding, some vision of any of the buffs, and just have a read on Elise. And once you can track her path in, you can definitely negate how much pressure she applies. It's going to be big on Gragas to sort of be in the same position as her, so if she does try to go for a play, you can counteract it or just to ward her off, and then they should be in a comfortable spot.
I think also outside of this individual bubble of the game, XL have just seen Fnatic go 3-0. We've also got Barrage going 3-0.
And XL
now need to continue that sort of top flight and go 3-0 themselves. So there is pressure on them this game, because obviously tomorrow we have that Fnatic versus XL matchup where one of them will end up knocking the other Academy team down all in.
Yeah, and I guarantee Fnatic, having played their game, will be now watching this to see if there are any little mistakes, little weaknesses opening up in BTXL. Because I think Fnatic really haven't shown any. BTXL a little bit more against Envision.
What has BTXL generally done with their compositions? Has it generally been later game scaling like this, or have they had any early game agency compositions?
So their composition against Envision was more, it sort of hit a big mid-game spike, and the scaling was actually in favor of Envision, but I think there was more easy to execute tools. They had like the Jarvan, the Misfortune, the Rumble, great team fighting, and it definitely felt like they had more of an onus to come online. The early game was fine. Mid-game, actually Envision started to bite back and found some favorable plays around the Herald, and then it was later on when, honestly, Envision were looking to outscale, where a clutch team fight from BTXL brought them the victory. So I feel like this is a little bit different from what we saw against Envision, but it shows there is a little bit of variety. But it's not like they've given themselves no agency to contest. It's just a little bit later spikes, wait until like level 6. It'll be interesting to see how that pans out up against Fnatic, because they've shown in their most recent a lot more early prowess, but in the games last week, it was a lot more scaling focused.
Well, XL now on to the Rift versus Demise, the last game of the first day of week 2 UKLC. XL looking to get another 3-0 record here to match their comrades of Fnatic and Barrage, who also are now sitting at 3-0.
Yeah, so if XL lose this game, then Barrage actually get their spot in the LEC. That's how it works.
I thought that was the case. I thought that was absolutely how it worked.
No, not quite. Although Barrage, like, really? Either way, do see things open out. Not seen an invade yet, but we could see a late invade, and that's what I very much expect. Deadly and Kasing in position here, but there is a ward covering, so they will be spotted. But honestly, up against Gragas, Aphelios, and Braum, there's not a ton you can do to actually stop this invade. They have great amount of level 1 CC. Gragas can go the body slam. They have the concussive blows.
I mean, they're just going to let them get away with it, I think.
125 is sort of the time you want to move in. Yeah, they see the ward. They know they've been spotted, but they're going to steal away the buff, and it's going to end up splitting the map. And this means that Special has a side to play to. So he plays towards bot side, where his jungle will always be. Sendo is going to be a little bit isolated in this situation, but he's a Vladimir. He's not too concerned. Diving a little bit harder with the pool, but again, against an Elise, it's not impossible.
Well, it's going to be vertical jungling. This does mean that Monkeys can go to the opposing red and then head down towards mid, potentially. I mean, the push is already coming in a little bit from Special.
But I think that's the advantage, is that Special can pick a side.
Sure.
He knows that. So he's already actually, I believe,
just
put a ward down.
Yeah, I think he just threw a ward down.
So it's covering if that invade does come in from Elise, and also it means he can play to where his jungler is. He doesn't want to walk too much on the top side, typically. And you can see in this position here, it's quite hard for Elise to actually walk in because there's a lot of ground to cover before she throws a cocoon. And once the wind wall is available, good to counteract that. Now, we talked about this last game. Leona, not the best level 1 champion.
Nope.
Braum, he's up there.
He's one of the best level 1 champions just because of how good his passive is.
Yeah, and also being able to have that range potential of harass with the Winter's Bite. So able to sort of zone, drag down Clara away, and actually BTXL could threaten an early dive in the bot lane if they wanted to. You can see Monkeys. He did sweep out that ward, but very hard to gank Special when he's positioned in that way so far away. Clara and Dragdar do place a ward, but the dive is being threatened.
Just pushing them away here. Dragdar still level 1. Actually putting a lot of pressure on Syndra early on, which is nice. It's something that you do want to do in a lane where Syndra has so much push potential. They're already zoning them away from the turret, actually forcing them to lose experience here as well.
The plate already.
Yeah, they're going to pick up a play. This is great play from BTXL to start things off. And now Monkeys is just going to sit on the top side of the map. It's going to delay Tax's own vertical jungle clear here. Obviously, Special pushing in consistently, but he is playing towards the bottom side of this lane. Like you said, he knows exactly where Monkeys is right now.
Yeah, and this was something we saw a ton of last year from BTXL. Less so far this split, but was super bot-centric play.
Oh, that was so good from Special. Just immediately slams down the Ignite. Jumps over with the flash as well. He's not going to catch Monkeys. Monkeys will survive. And now Zweiren trying to trade back here. Special, I think, is going to get away with it because Zweiren did not have the mana to really do much else. But that was a brilliant play.
Confident play from Special.
Confident.
Yeah. Very aggressive Yasuo play. Isn't really in threat of going down because Zorian had no mana available, but does burn both his summoners for that. So potential, he could be vulnerable later in the game, but for now, Zorian, no health, very low mana, and Monkeys, he's just going to have to back away after being threatened out there. So Special, showing mastery of this champion. Maybe even a little disrespect, but I mean, he ended up pushing them away, so a lot of confidence coming out from him. But as I was saying, BTXL last year, super bot-centric play, and we're seeing a little return to that, which it's what I expected this split, because Deadly is a player who, when you give him resources, flourishes massively. And I think it's something that XL have played around, is this bot-centric style. And I felt like Deadly's addition would make it even more emphasized. And you see the vision's being denied. Gragas has got control of the bot side jungle. It's very hard for Dragdar and Clara really to do anything. But despite that, they are holding up well in CS.
Kerberos taking damage here. Sendo just going to continue to pressure him out, but he's got a huge minion wave to work with, so Sendo should be fine.
Yeah, Kerberos trading pretty well, all things considered, into the Vladimir. Although, you know, Gangplank does trade better early.
Oh, you just wait for that to pop up and you get the empowered Q and it hurts
Yeah,
a
I'm not
lot.
sure you should have gone for the parlay there, Kerberos. You probably should have waited. I think you wanted the grasp. You got greedy for that extra HP. Late game scaling Kerberos always loves that.
I remember I played an A-round with Dan yesterday, and you played Grasp Tam Kench. And every few minutes it was like, I'm late game scaling. I'm late game scaling.
I just dive. You know, you get double the health. You get 10 HP per proc in ARAM. And it's like, I die, but I'm like, I got a grasp proc. It's worth. It's just so worth it.
Ooh, that was cheeky there from Taxi. He knew what was going on.
Yeah, I had a good read on it. I think the missing pings would come out, and he evades the cocoon. Burst potential still very real between this duo, but so far, Zorian down in CS. Level 6 now hit by the Yasuo. Special's done pretty good to evade the pressure, and this was the point we said Demise had to find the most success in the early levels. It's no longer possible, and when we get later into this game, when the junglers start to hit level 6, Elise isn't as powerful, and Gragas having his ult makes it very dangerous to try to make any plays on Special.
Special's looking so good. He's almost 20 CS up. Kasing now pushing again and threatening a dive on the bottom side of the map.
Dragdar just picked up Deadly's turret and just threw it under the tower and let it die.
Oh no.
That's an interesting interaction. But either way, pressure on the tower, very easy for BTXL to take this dragon with very little threat. And so far, things looking good for them. The pressure really hasn't come out on a Special. He even managed to answer back heavily and keep up in CS. The Kiana Elise hasn't massively paid off so far.
They haven't really been. I mean, the thing is that Special took that 2v1 play, basically 2v1. He was so close to even getting a double kill in that scenario. And I just don't feel like they've had another opportunity to get back in there.
Yeah.
Because that gave him so much time. It gave him so much time to get back to level 6. It gave him so much time to reset and go back to base as well. They just missed a big opportunity there.
Yeah, and I think as well, it shakes the confidence when you go for a play like that. And
Special just literally smurfs.
Yeah, and you nearly die. You're a bit hesitant. Taxa, level 5. And once he hits level 6, it just becomes even more difficult to go for those plays because all Gragas has to do is come in and press R. And if it connects, then very easy turnaround for Special.
Yeah, Specials looked very good this game. As has the bot lane as well, Deadly and Kasing.
I gotta say that Dragdar, having their starting support back, he was denied so heavily in that first wave, he's even in CS.
Yeah, he's doing really well. I mean,
credit to him in that regard.
He's come back into the roster this week, obviously, after having missed a couple of games so far. And obviously has a hard test for him in the first game, coming back here in the form of XL. But, like you said, Dragdar's kept himself pretty even. Looks like Monkus is heading down towards that bottom side of the map once more, but Kasing just basically acting like a human ward in this scenario. And he's going to end up backing off as well. Or at least look like he was. Is he missing experience here? He is an experience range, right?
I mean, experience range is so long now.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure he's still getting it.
He should find.
Yeah. Little bits here and there. Deadly level 6 now, though. And obviously, power of that ultimate available can also, if he gets the Gravitum, it's really easy to set up plays.
Yikes, Special is level 8. And has his summoners back in just a moment.
I think Taxa should hit level 6 of this, or be very close, and then he'll have that ultimate. And the window we were talking about, the mid-jungle power between the Elise Kiana, missed, sort of. It's not like they fall off instantly and the game's over. It's just they have sort of missed the mark for where they wanted to dominate. But Taxa's still not level 6, and actually...
Just goes in onto Zwyron. They're actually going to get the Braum stun here as well. The Gangplank ultimate will keep Zwyron alive. Now Monk is coming in, misses the cocoon. But they've basically done what they needed to do here, and Special still has his ultimate available. If Taxa does hit level 6 sometime soon, they will have that combo ready to go.
Just rough. Not many windows to land a cocoon in this game up against the Yustro and the Braum. A little rough to have missed that one.
And they actually end up losing the Rift Herald as well.
Yeah,
so
Texel going to force them off, and Sendo having priority in this lane. The reset actually coming out from Demise, and this is an interesting adaptation that XL typically do. So under normal situations, we very much see teams swap their whole bot lane up to the top side to contest these neutral objectives. BTXL don't. They leave Deadly in a solo lane and just let him farm up. It can be a little bit risky. You can see that Monk is potentially threatening a dive, so he has to back away. But it's just putting a lot of resources onto Deadly, and it's how BTXL have shown they play around him so far since he's joined the team. And right now, Braum is moving down to assist him so he can safely farm. But it's just typical Deadly.
It's been typical Deadly since his competitive playstyle in general. Kind of how Venza played though when Venza was on XL. I mean, I think Venza fulfilled a very similar role to Deadly. Orcs is just kind of like nodding his head slightly.
Thinking about it, yeah.
You don't want to go for the turret dive there, but he's definitely threatening Zwyron right now. So difficult for Zwyron to get any kind of look in this lane. I mean, Special on one of his most comfortable champions. He's just absolutely crushing it.
Yeah, and Zwyron has mobility boots, which are standard on Kiana, but I will say are ambitious, because I don't think you're leaving lane anytime soon. Level 6 available for Taxa. They're looking for a dive on a Kerberos.
We'll get the barrel here. Kerberos is taken very low. He's going to get stunned up as well. No way Kerberos even attempts to get out of this. And First Blood will go over to Deadly. They'll pick up a load of plates and summon the Rift Herald potentially for the first turret of the game as well.
It's perfect timing as well. The lower HP plates are harder to take, and it's just going to finish them off. So really good Rift Herald usage coming out from BTXL. I can see they saw the video.
It's going to get a second charge, by the way.
Yeah, I mean, not too relevant right now on this in the tab, but obviously valuable. But it's just being able to finish off those last two plates normally difficult. And in return, Demise, they got one plate top, so not really a great trade-off. Zwyron looking for Special. Now 2 levels down.
Jesus.
They missed the mark. They missed the mark. And not only that, Special has flourished in a matchup where the pressure should have been applied on him. And I'm getting a little bit concerned for Demise's chances. With 1 kill in favor of BTXL, we're 11 minutes in, and the goal lead is over 3,000. not a good omen.
This hasn't even been like outlane. Well, it has kind of been outlaning, I guess, in the mid side of the map, but like this has been just pure good map play from XL.
Yeah, it was a smart invade. We expected it from them based on how they play. And oh, goodbye, Kerberos.
Yep. Kerberos is he's got flash. Don't really know. Oh, it's gonna be moderately close.
Oh, Special's
taking actually a lot of damage here. He does have his ultimate. I think Special was actually going to go in. I didn't expect that. The orange comes out immediately from Kerberos. A good orange use, so he's going to get out.
Well played, coming out from Kerberos, and his team are going to get some pressure on the other side of the map. So just as I'm saying things look rough, just as I said goodbye to Kerberos, Demise getting right back in the game and applying some pressure. Good to see.
Yeah, they'll pick up a turret here as well, and a load of plates to boot that'll help close that gold gap.
I don't think they finish this one. It's really tanky in the last plate and the wave's running out. They may have some more time to do it on the next one, but in the meantime, Deadly and Kasing applying pressure mid.
Yeah, no one's actually coming up to support Sendo right now. Maybe they get away with it, and now they're going to back off.
Cautious if it could potentially happen, so they back away.
That's probably the safer way to play this, but they got a lot of plates, so close the gold gap a little bit, back to 2,500 or so.
Yeah, so good play coming out from Demise. Kerberos showing some forte on the gangplank and managing to handle Special, at least to a degree. But BTXL still in the lead. We've got pretty good control on the top side. And Zoran, this is not how you want to play Kiana. You don't want to get bullied under tower by an AD carry. People probably have nightmares about this situation.
It is pretty rough. And Kiana is one of those champions where she falls behind. It can be very hard to make her feel useful in games, apart from maybe landing an absolutely insane ultimate in the Dragon Pit or a Baron Pit. It's difficult to make Kiana feel good when she's behind.
Obviously, really loves to get a ton of lethality stacked up. Special, pick some items. Already got that 25% crit chance from the Zeal, 20% from the crit cloak, so at 90. Can just finish the Infinity Edge here and get the extra burst available to that. Or can go towards the Phantom Dancer for the extra survivability, but based on how Special's playing so far, I wouldn't be surprised to see the Infinity Edge come out first.
Zaren goes hyper aggressive, and I think Sendo has been spooked, quite rightly so. Just looks like a potential push at the top side of the map for maybe attempting to take that tower now that the plates have fallen.
Yeah, as Kiana pretty good at taking towers, a lot of AD and the extra attack speed available on her Terra shape. But I don't think you can push too far. Kasing's leaned over to cover. The game slowed down quite a bit. I mean, it's been a slow-paced game in general with only one kill so far.
Maybe the Kiana ultimate coming out, but nothing actually coming of it. I was waiting just to see what was going to happen off the back of that, but...
They got the flash of Deadly. I think that's a critical thing to point out. But it does mean...
He's still got cleanse though, remember?
Yeah, and the Supreme Display of Talent now down. And with Herald spawning in about 40 seconds, does mean that's going to be unavailable for a team fight. Although it's incredibly hard to use when there's the wind wall available. And oh, a nice little steal from Dragdar. They are threatening this mid tower though.
Especially because Taxer is there, ready to use his ultimate, so they have to be super careful. They're even not going to go for it. The Gangplank ultimate comes out. That wards Taxer away enough. It's good use of the Gangplank ultimate from Kerb.
You can see they were feeling the pressure, but I feel like with the Supreme Display of Talent down and the Cannon Barrage, there is no way you contest this Herald.
Yeah, it's too long until Supreme Display of Talent comes back up, so it's going to be another neutral objective picked up by XL. They can probably set up a situation where they use that mid, open up that mid lane turret, and exactly as Fnatic did, that will start to allow them to be much more aggressive and maybe push their leads further than they already are. It was the catalyst that Fnatic needed in their game to win. It looks like that could be the case for XL here as well.
Could be. This Herald's going down. No contest really coming in. I don't think there's much Demise would ever want to do in the current state of the game. They are looking to apply pressure on the other side of the map and potentially take this tower. This would sacrifice your mid lane tower though. Dragdar, this is one of the tools of Syndra, being able to clear a wave quickly. So we'll buy some time to defend mid. But it's trading where you could potentially lose your mid lane tower to Herald. I guess the one caveat I'll say is that they could just kill mid lane instantly with the Herald. It's so low. But it looks like BTXL are going to back off, reset, pick up some wards for Kasing, some item break points for Deadly, has a finished Essence Reaver and the big components of the Infinity Edge. And it just ends up being a tower in favor of BTXL on the top side. And they don't even get the bot tower. So they went for that really aggressive lean towards the bot side. Sendo wasn't even bothered, wasn't even phased. They weren't able to get anything really from it.
Kerberos looking to go aggressive where he can on Sendo, but I just want to point out the CS difference now between Special and Zwyron, up to around 70, 65 or so. I mean,
One exactly.
It's pretty insane.
Yeah. I mean, Deadly's managed to accrue a lead as well. I think that's typically from him staying in lane and the recess not coming. We actually see the ult come in from Sendo. He's looking for the 1v1.
He is indeed. He's going to try and force Kerberos out. Kerberos in the alcove. And Kerberos is now maybe stuck in a rough position because he doesn't have that turret to work with. He's trying to bite Kite back, and it's going to be an ultimate directly onto Monkeys, who used the stopwatch, and now Special's locked up. He's going to take a huge amount of damage, but a well-timed exhaust keeps him alive. In the meantime, it is going to be Zwyron on the back line, using that Supreme displayer talent to pick up Deadly, and that's 2 members of XL going down just for Monkeys.
Good stealth. Really well played by Zwyron there.
Yeah, really, really good from Zwyron. He's going to just try and put pressure onto Taxa and onto Kasing, but in the meantime, that has stopped the Dragon take. Sendo's still very healthy, and Kerberos is pushed back. But
I think Kerberos flashed to get away, but I think the fight actually diverted attention away. But overall, good turnaround coming out from Demise there. A great engage coming in from Zwyron to kill Deadly, and then picked up Special, who was a bit too aggressive. I think they can just take this Dragon now if they want, but Monkeys walking from base may delay them a little bit on the start. But finally, we're seeing Zwyron show some success on this pick.
Yeah.
And that's that nice little stealth at the end, and then he sidesteps the body slam. Really clean, good to see. They have to get this quickly and get out, though, because 3 members of BTXL are running over from mid lane.
Sendo doesn't have his ultimate, though. It's going to be about another 15 seconds or so until that's up.
I don't think it matters. Kerberos looking for a trade here, but I think they've backed away from the Dragon. Mid tower did go down prior to that play.
We still have Herald left to use as well for Taxa.
I think it was just Demise, very focused on defending that jungle, ended up giving up the tower in the mid lane, essentially for free. This Dragon, I don't think you go for the steal here.
Tempted, not with the Elise though, Zwyron trying to go for it himself. And it was close, but it's going to be a good smite from Taxa. Going to secure the 3rd Dragon in the game for BTXL, and suddenly now there is another neutral objective that you have to worry about if you are Demise.
Absolutely good. Good attempt from Zwyron, but even with the execute damage, it just wasn't quite enough. And BTXL, 3 Dragons on the table now, racked them up very quickly here. It's an Infernal Soul, which would synergize greatly with all the carries. That's scaling well in that composition. Very much something you want to look towards, and now it's as we've talked about a lot. 3 Dragons puts the pressure on Demise. They're at soul point. Every single Dragon from here on out they need to deny if they don't want to give over the Infernal Soul to XL. So in a tough spot, and they're still about 3,000 gold behind at the moment.
And that should start to be even more if XL look to do what Fnatic did and just start to try and put pressure on the blue and red side jungle of Demise. Try and catch out rotations, put pressure on them where they can. They are opting for a 1-3-1, which you'd expect with the Yasuo. There is a big confluence in the middle right now.
Like this, though, from Zwyron.
Yeah, Zwyron is on the bottom side of the map, just looking to put pressure onto Sendo. Now, he is a bit more difficult with that pool. He has also got that flash available. And the Rift Herald has been summoned in the middle side of the map. Maybe XL realized that something fishy was going on as Zwyron was unseen, and they're going to get a good charge off here. They may even end up getting this turret. I mean, it is going to be Kalhira just essentially warding off XL with the use of that W.
I think as well the timer running pretty low is always a factor. When you see these Herald throwdowns, they realize it's coming towards the end. Zwyron tried to go for a play on a Sendo, which it makes sense. Sendo's been playing this matchup very aggressive, but I think he sensed something potentially could be up or just wasn't in the mood to play aggressive onto Kerberos at that moment. And as a result, Zwyron doesn't get very little. And BTXL actually able to finish off this tower. So they try to collapse onto Special. You can see Leona and Elise hovering on that top side of the jungle. And as a result, they just gave up that tier 2 mid tower. And this means that BTXL can push very deep with those mid waves. And when Dragdar catches them, it's so far away from the Baron Nashor. It's going to make it very difficult to contest vision in that area. And it's such a fast Baron from BTXL. They have Aphelios, who obviously with the Crescendum can do it so quickly. Yasuo, insane DPS. It's going to be difficult to stop them. And right now we can see big power spikes coming in. Deadly, he's got the Infinity Edge Essence Reaver and the Crit Cloak.
Special's also picked up his Infinity Edge now as well.
And the Phantom Dancers, who he's at 100% crit. Deadly's at 70% crit, pumping out a ton of damage. So BTXL in a really comfortable spot right now.
Yeah, Kerberos has been doing pretty solid in this side lane matchup versus Sendo, though. He's been taking trades very effectively, but it hasn't really mattered because Sendo hasn't really featured as part of the XL game plan so far. And as you said before, XL, very good at just slowly pushing gold leads out without really ever taking any fights. They are now sitting at almost a 4,500 gold lead.
I feel like, sorry to cut you off, but I
That's
feel
all
like
good.
this game is really slow quite a bit, but there's going to be a team fight where it just explodes.
It feels slow just because we haven't really seen any action, but a lot of turrets have gone down and a lot of objectives have gone down. There's going to be Special stunned up, Zwyron over the wall. I think Special should just be dead here with the Supreme Display of Talent. Nothing he can do. But, again...
Okay, Ross.
Kerberos going for the 1v1. I think
He gets it!
Oh, no, and I think Taxa just saved his life as well. I think that's great.
They can just start the Baron.
They have to go contest this Baron. I mean, XL just randomly showed on the bottom side of the map.
TP
It's going to be a teleport coming out from Kerberos. I don't even know if XL can contest this.
Oh, this is a big mistake coming out from XL. It's actually going down fairly slowly. Clear is going in position to zone. Taxa has Flash and Smite available.
He's going to have to go pretty soon. He's at 2,000 HP. You can see now.
He slammed away.
Sing jumping over the wall. They're going to look to go for it. It's 800 HP. He flashes over the wall. Maybe Deadly can commit to this, though. He's in a good spot. No one can really touch him right now. He actually misses the stun from the Syndra, and that's the cue for Deadly to start to pump out the damage. It's going to be a double kill coming out for him. It's going to be Zwyron jumping in, but Deadly kites backwards with the flash. Gets a triple kill out of it. I don't even know if he's going to survive, but he will, I think, picking up a honey fruit there. No, he didn't even pick up a honey fruit, but what a play. I mean, I did feel that they were going low from the Baron there, and that was the chance for Deadly to strike, but that was a really nice piece of micro play from Deadly.
Yeah, it was a slow Baron. You could see Dragdor ran out of mana, and that sort of put them out of steam for quite a bit. One of the issues with not having a traditional lady carry, that's even why they TP'd Kerberos in. They needed the extra DPS. Demise do get the Baron, but they lose a lot there to BTXL, and they're still very much down in gold.
It's
and now
just
Soul
Kerberos,
spawning.
right? It's just Kerberos, right, who's got the Baron.
Yeah,
I think everybody else has lost
with
it.
the Baron, and Soul is spawning in less than 10 seconds. The rest of Demise are nowhere near.
There's teleport coming in from Syndra. They're going to have to wait for Zwyron to run his way over. But I mean, Kiana's pretty quick, so she should get there in
Mobility
time.
Boots and the Ghost Blade. They do see Sender. They could potentially look for him, but they might just lose the Dragon if they do so.
Maybe Sender just trying to debate. I mean, she's going to be, I think the Dragon Soul's just down right now. They're going to get it, and Monkus has to force the flash over the wall. They now have that Dragon Soul ready to go. The team fight has already broken out. Supreme Display of Talent hits 3. It's a big one from Zwyron. He's been pretty good with them so far, and that's going to be Special killed off. Now, in the meantime, Sendo on the sideline, he's got a lot of damage here. He could go in if he wants to. It's Deadly now putting pressure onto Dragdar. Deadly being protected by Kasing, and it's going to be a huge amount of damage. Deadly just absolutely tearing up as Sendo kites back against Zwyron. Zwyron should go down here. It's just a matter of time. They're going to have to chase him down. He'll be a tricky guy to catch, but...
Oh, there it is. There it is. He's using it. Oh.
He's just dead.
Yeah, he used the alcove, though.
He did use the alcove briefly. However, Dragon Soul now for XL. It was a rough team fight. Of course, Special has been beaten up at every given opportunity, but it is a Dragon Soul now.
Yeah, I mean, there's good coordination from Demise at the start of the fight, but they're just unable to get on top of Deadly. Kasing playing the bodyguard role so well, and Deadly coordinating extremely powerfully with these turrets available from the Crescendum, and you just can't walk through them. If you walk through and it starts autoing you, he gets so many extra effects from his secondary gun, it's impossible. And the way that Deadly and Kasing are playing is completely facilitating this team in team fights. The early lead was very much down to Special, but these fights is down to the bot lane of BTXL.
But Special has just done nothing but draw attention. When you've got Deadly at 6-1, that is perfectly okay to just draw attention. I mean, he's almost 100 far up on his opposite number, and although his kill score, his KDA doesn't really reflect kind of the impact that he's had on this game.
He's just not a KDA player.
He's not a KDA player, but we like that. We don't need KDA players.
Absolutely agree.
Deadly, however, massive KDA player. Look at him.
He has died.
6-1 and 2, mate.
Kasing and Taxa, they're KDA players.
Oh, they're the KDA guys. Not willing to put their life on the line.
Taxa didn't want to die for that Baron. That's the big thing.
Oof.
That's what I'm saying. Oh, that extra little pop from the Infernal Soul on top of the Tornado, doing quite a bit to Dragdar, but for now, BTXL looking to siege on his top side. Kerberos is just splitting away on the other side of the map. Cannon Barrage available soon, but the TP isn't. I think Sunder's going to answer. I feel like a big engage could just come out.
The ultimate just thrown out from Deadly there.
He was looking for Dragdar. If he catches on to him, he has Gravitum.
Yeah.
Very easy to set up the route, but unfortunately does not manage to connect.
There you go. Throws the turret, but doesn't quite kill it. Huge amount of damage to the inhibitor turret. They're going to back away with the use of the cannon barrage now down. XL can just maybe reset and maybe look for another opportunity. They know there's a big ultimate off the table right now.
Yeah, I think Kerberos waited till he saw Sendo, then reset on the map, came over and wanted to set up a play. Demise potentially looking for something here, but BTXL being very cautious on their approach on this one.
It's good. Clever play. They also know that Kerberos is there now. They saw the barrels explode. Sendo's not going to make any rash decisions to move over. XL are actually just going to reset completely here. Maybe looking to either play around the next Baron or the Elder Dragon, which spawns in around 3 minutes.
Yeah, I think it was ambitious, trying to break the base without the Baron, especially with a wave clear available to the likes of Dragdar.
They don't really have the best siege in the world apart from Deadly. You know, everyone else has to commit their bodies to make this work.
Even Deadly is so short range compared to you know, maybe the likes for Senna, that you don't want to be that close and hitting the tower.
I mean, you're in range of getting stunned by Dragdar. You're in range of Zenith Blade. It is a risky maneuver without Baron to make that happen. And you know, when you're running with 3 melees and Sendo on the other side of the map, yeah, it's rough.
We now have a QSS from Special, a little bit more safety, so we didn't get blown up as quickly. Baron up in a minute, Elder in 2, BTXL reset, and they'll be on the map with a full set of wards, trying to get control. And they are now potentially looking to collapse onto Kerberos. I think he sensed this and he's going for the recall.
XL, just a matter of time, though. I mean, it's not. I would say that they've been much more tempered than Fnatic in this matchup. I would argue that Demise may be slightly above Phelan in terms of relative power rankings.
Potentially.
But transitive properties is not really worth discussing. I mean, XL have definitely played this much safer than Fnatic have.
I mean, I think we'll have our answer tomorrow.
Yeah, that's very true.
BT XL against Fnatic Rising. Last game of tomorrow. Do you see Zorian potentially caught out here? Special looking for him.
He pops the Ghost Blade, gets out. That's going to be the ultimate hit there from Deadly. But he will not do much more with that. There isn't really the support to make it happen. But a lot of damage onto Swyren, so he's going to be forced back.
Wow, what a balanced champion.
That's a huge amount of damage. It's like 2 spells, and he's now down to what, like...
Yeah, in fairness, though, he should have expected that since he was within, you know, 2 screens worth of distance from the Aphelios. Either way, a lot of damage on the Zorian kind of negates any chance of going for a play on the back of him. They are now setting up for the Baron, which is just spawned now. Kerberos trading a little bit with Sendo back and forth, getting those
Oh my god, the Dragon Soul really hitting hard as well.
Vladimir as well, just at this point in the game, level 16, a big spike. He's actually ulted.
He's got Rabadons. Yeah,
Kerberos is on the tower, so it's fine. They start the Baron up, but the blue trinket comes in and they'll back away.
Yeah, they wanted to sneak it, but I mean, in the meantime, Sendo's just like taking towers and now taking inhibitors.
He's crushing the 1v1 now, and I think it makes it very difficult for Kerberos to hold.
He's got Rabadons though. You know, when you get Rabadons on Vladimir, both your healing and your damage just becomes pretty insane.
It makes it very difficult for Kerberos to actually trade, especially since he's gone the Sterix, which, I mean, it helps in all-ins, but Vladimir doesn't really need to commit.
Big engage happening. Hero goes into the backline, actually gets a big stun up, though in the meantime, Special's starting to pop off in these fights. There's going to be a big channel from Sendo to come through as well, and I think realistically with Deadly being such high HP, he is going to be able to clean up this fight very nicely. The ultimate doesn't hit Kerberos by himself. They have stopped the Baron. It is 2 versus 3, but Deadly is so strong. Kerberos will ward them away with a barrel. It's going to be Sendo coming to transition on the other side. I think this will just be Kerberos going down. I say that. Has to be very careful.
Oh, he actually has a move speed the barrel. Kerberos is out.
Kerberos is a monster.
Yeah, playing pretty well, but unfortunately so is Deadly. And he's now got 4 items with that Bloodthirster, the triple core items on Aphelios, which are so strong. And BTXL, definitely a close fight, but the TP from Sendo secured their fate. It is nice to see that Demise are willing to go toe-to-toe and doing okay, but they are still massively down, 7,000 gold almost. And Elder now on the cards. So you see, no one cares about Baron anymore. Baron is forgotten. Elder is the focus. Monkeys is running down there to try and get some semblance of control, or at least a ward down, but everyone from BTXL moving over. Deadly will take priority in mid lane. Dragdar just has to catch that wave before he moves over, but this is the main focus. Elder Dragon. We've seen close team fights. Elder can be the difference maker. This time she wipes off 1/5 of your health bar.
Oh, it's pretty grim. And BCXL has set up for it really nicely. Special actually here, actually going to be the main immediate focus. The windmill is good though. The windmill keeps a lot of delay happening as now Kerberos trades onto Special. The ultimate comes through, a huge pickup to take out Kerberos this early in the fight. And that's going to be Kahira going down as well. I think this might just be Elder and maybe even the game for XL. They're going to play it slow and go for Elder, but this is a big win condition.
Yeah, I think you can play it safe in this situation. They probably could end here, but there's a lot of wave clear available between Zorian and Dragdar. Once you have the Elder, the game is yours. But Special still looking here.
I mean, they're keeping the fights going. Special keep going on. He's got the wind wall coming through. That's a big shutdown, but Sendo does so much damage at this point. He's going to pick up 2 kills easily, and this should be the game for XL.
Yeah, Elder buff coming in as well at the end, just so he can blow through them. Looks like XL actually going towards the Baron.
That is super safe.
Yeah. I mean, I guess respecting the spawn timers, but I mean, you have Elder buff. I think you just walk through the enemy.
And they're actually just ignoring Sendo.
Better safe than sorry.
They're going to collapse on him now. Monkeys jumps in. Sendo.
They don't win this.
They don't win this. There's no way they win
Clara.
this. Yep. Goodbye. I don't even think Kerberos and Monkeys can win this.
I don't think there's anyone really on.
I think Sendo could 1v5 if he really wanted to. If he had his ultimate up.
Ultimate flash, I think, is the win condition. But right now, oh, they actually caught him out. A lot of damage.
He's dead. I think he's just dead at this point.
Yeah. Okay, looks like we're wrong.
No, but he got caught out in a... You see, this is the point. You just don't get caught out in a cocoon, and then you win.
Yeah. Just dodge it.
Just dodge.
Yeah, great advice. Speaking of just dodge, Deadly, 4 ults in a row he's missed now.
That's a bit of a feels bad. And I actually think he hit the ultimate in the last team fight around the Elder Dragon.
Yeah, I think Fnatic might be watching this, and they're like, we've got to leave Aphelios open. Because Aphelios only has 2 abilities, his Q and his ultimate. And if you can't hit one of them, then pretty limited. But just making some jokes and jest. Right now, Elder still...
Just in case you didn't realize, that was a joke.
You thought I was being extremely toxic.
I can confirm that Orcs is extremely toxic.
Yeah, there we go. But
especially when he plays Legends of Runeterra. The BM behind the screen, you know, he may be... In fact, I was playing a game of Runeterra earlier, and Lork, I was playing a game and it was going really well, and suddenly we turned things around from like a really bad situation. Lork's like, this is where you spam the Shen emote.
In fairness, he was playing Teemo and he Battle Furied it. He deserved it. By all means, he deserved it. We are seeing VXL looking in the game. They still have the Baron buff. They have Elder on the core 3 members, including Deadly.
The ultimate comes out, Zahira goes in. He's just dead, I think, at this point. I don't know how much more they could make. There's a good windmill to zone away the rest of the Demise roster. The double kill comes through for Deadly. This should be business for XL as they close down. That's the ultimate hit for Monkeys. The triple kill comes through. Finally, Deadly making it hit when it counts. And Special runs through. They're going to go for the Nexus turrets. Special does get locked up here, but this is not going to matter in the slightest. XL will run those minions into the Nexus towers. They will eventually push on and take the win versus Demise and put themselves up to 3-0 in the UKLC.
Still chasing kills.
They could just take the game.
They're all chasing the kills. They're all running up.
No, please just end the game.
Deadly's turnaround.
Good Deadly. This is what we like. He's also farming CS. What are they doing?
I don't think we need commentary.
We don't need commentary for this. We're just going to let it happen. Thank you, Deadly. XL going 3-0 in the UKLC, and Demise will not pick up the win. They will not pick up the upset, and it sets up for a big matchup between XL and Fnatic tomorrow, Game 4.
I think there were moments, definitely, where Demise showed strength, but their draft needed early pressure in the mid-jungle. They couldn't find it on a Special, and despite cutting him down in a couple of team fights, it just wasn't enough. Deadly, monstrous performance, and I think very much making that statement you made earlier about being best bot lane with Kasing true. At least in this game, they were just completely untouched, unrivaled. I can't wait to see them match up tomorrow against XL.
It's one of the things that I like about XL. You know, you always talk about how many threats a team has, like in terms of pure carry threats. Sendo, although he probably is the weakest of the carry threats on XL, playing Vladimir is still a threat. I mean, you saw him in that game doing really well.
Yeah.
You have Special and Deadly. I know that Sendo isn't always that role player, but I think in this scenario, you had a triple threat comp, and they weathered the storm in the early game. They got to the late game when they were untouchable.
And I mean, yeah, the team fights were so difficult. Even if you do manage to kill Yasuo, which was tricky at times with QSS and the wind wall, Deadly was just impossible to touch because Kasing was right there ensuring he was protected. And then Sendo was just another beast entirely. Vladimir in the late game, too much an issue. And I like the draft. I really do like the draft from Demise. I think they gave themselves clear win conditions. There was a very easy path to see where they could snowball the game and then take over it. The execution just wasn't there. And I think the skill gap was a little thing. Zoran struggled in the lane. He definitely came back in force, but I think it showed that Special is one of those 2 premier mid laners in our league.
Yeah, well, we obviously are coming back tomorrow at 7 p.m. CET, where we will kick off the second day of the UKLC here in week 2. You can have a look at the games that we've got coming away. Phelan versus Envision. We're going to have Barrage taking on Demise, Enclave taking on M&M, and obviously that ticket match of BTXL versus Fnatic Rising to end the day. But actually a lot of close games on the cards tomorrow. I'm actually quite excited to see Barrage versus Demise. That's going to be a good one to see if Barrage can continue their winning streak in the UKLC as well.
Yeah, I think that there's going to be some good ones. I think today, a little bit one-sided maybe at times. There was still some shining lights, but I think tomorrow, especially that last match.
That last match is huge. I mean, it speaks for itself. It is the ticket match of the UKLC, so
yep.
I'm looking forward to it. We'll be there tomorrow, 7 p.m. CET, 6 p.m. GMT. Make sure you join us. See you soon.